I want to start by defining what I mean by storytelling. We use that word storytelling to mean a lot of different things. It can mean what an actor does, it can mean what a dancer does, it can mean what a writer does. But when I am talking about storytelling, I am specifically talking about an oral recounting of a narrative performed in the absence of a written text. So it is spoken word, but it is not spoken word reliant on reading. Reading and storytelling are different practices. But also, and this is important, particularly for the classroom, I suggest, it is reliant on the linguistic resources of the speaker. So if I say to you, Marley was dead to begin with, there is no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Those words are the opening of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So there, I am not using my own linguistic resources to be a storyteller. I am reciting someone else's language. And reciting, I suggest, is not the same as storytelling. But why does this matter? It matters because we use story to make sense of the world. We represent ourselves through the stories we tell. Other people represent themselves by their stories. It is an essential life skill. And when we tell stories and make stories, we are applying our knowledge of the world and the language we associate with the world. And that allows us also to create worlds that are imaginary, so we can create fairy stories and fables and myths. And story in the classroom provides a meaningful context for language, and language used in lots of different ways. So it is not a technical exercise. It is something that has meaning, and it is a meaning that is going to be shared with an audience. So it is therefore a social act. And as we use that language, we shape it. We respond to our audience, and our shaping can be linguistic, but it can also be in the way that we use our voice, in our gesture, in our breath, in the tension in our bodies. It is multimodal. And all the time we are making connections as we tell stories. We are making connections between the language we are using and how we use it. We are making connections between our story and the world as we know it. We are making connections between the events in the story and the language that we are using, and between the events themselves. And I want to finish with my favorite quote about storytelling, which is from Vivian Gussin Paley. And Vivian Gussin Paley says, storytelling is a shared process, a primary cultural institution. It is the social art of language.